You create wealth for people.
And I feel there's also a stepping stone to that, right? Because if you have that kind of template whereby technology can learn from, because the era of AI right now, whereby you can look at the credit risks, what are the things that and predict the future of what can
Abs-
happen. I mean, I imagine the possibilities.
Yes, it's easier. We're happy that we are starting new in this age. If you go to the big banks, the old banks today, they are not nimble. It's not easier for them
Mm,
to to convert from analog to digital. The cost is very high.
yeah,
But as
yeah.
smaller banks that we are just beginning,
Yeah,
we can decide to go digital first. That's my bank.
yeah.
It's digital first. It's digital. It's digital first. We open all our accounts. Majority of our accounts we open online. We have e-commerce site. We deliver. You can buy a car today. You don't have to go to the bank. You go to the website and buy a car.
Mm.
You know, you don't need to have an account in the bank to shop on our e-commerce site that you can check out using the alternative finance, payment. You pay over 1 year, as our people say, pay small, small,
Face mask one.
and it's halal.
Absolutely.
Halal is halal, no matter what religion you are.
Mm. So it doesn't have discrimination.
It does
It
not,
doesn't.
because when you look at the nature of interest critically, you observe it, you will discover that it is making or creating wealth at the expense of another,
Mm.
because the rate of computation is compounded. I spent about 19 years of my life in the conventional system.
Mm.
At some point, I feel like running away because there is no fairness there. Without any prejudice, I'm
Mm.
not condemning the system.
Absolutely.
That was
Absolutely.
the system that taught me what
Your,
I'm
your
doing
opinion,
today.
really.
But
And
that's my
yeah,
opinion. And I
yeah.
discovered if I have a purpose, and my purpose is not just to make money, I have to look for a way to do it, to deliver it. You see, I can do social services sustainably.
Yes.
We have what we call Kat Hassan,
Mm.
that I can give you a loan that you don't have to pay a dime. You
Mm.
just return my money to me. That's selective because it's regulated. But I have the opportunity to do that. I have the opportunity to say, okay, Mudathir, you have money, you
Yeah.
bring the money. I have had dealings with people in the past that say, Garba, look, this is my phone. I don't need any profit on it,
Mm.
but ensure the integrity of my capital. I want you to deploy it in SME, in agric and all that. Finance these guys, smallholder farmers, at the rate of less than 10%.
Mm.
To be able to make the system work, you need to generate that amount of revenue for the bank. Well, it's not sufficient for me as a bank because commercial lending, commercial rate of financing, the inflation in Nigeria is
I mean,
twenty-seven percent today.
it's really high.
Yes,
Mm.
it's in fact, food inflation has gone to 30%. Technically, what that means is if you have money last year
Mm.
and you deploy it into a business and you have a return of, say, 20%, you are poorer than last year.
Absolutely.
It's simple. That's the model you use to price whatever you're financing.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable?
Mm.
It is not. So you need that social impact
To bridge
to
the gap.
caution it. To caution
Absolutely.
it. We
Mm.
partner with the likes of MasterCard Foundation through Sterling, and we have a few others. We're having a conversation with, these outcasts all over the
Yeah.
Middle East
Yeah.
and all
Absolutely.
that. These are the
Absolutely.
impacts that. Look, my brother, the
Mm.
stages of human development is very clear. There is a point that human being will reach in his life that the only thing that gives him pleasure or joy is when he helps someone.
When you give.
Yes, when you give.
Mm.
There is the ego stage when a child is born.
Mm.
That's why a baby cries all the time.
Mm.
It's me, it's me, it's me. I need food. I need I
I
need
need
fresh air. I need breast milk. It's
absolutely.
everywhere. And you see, this child will grow to still remain in that ego stage until some point. Then you enter achiever stage. You want to
Mm.
achieve this. You want to have education. You want to have a job. You want to have a business. You want to build a house. You
Basicals.
want to set a family.
Mm.
You want to have children, and all that. That's what drives you.
Yeah.
But what happens when you achieve all these things? Will it still give you joy? No.
Mm.
The next thing is you enter a stage they call giver stage.
Mm.
The only thing that gives you joy, pleasure in life is when you give.
Keep.
So as institutions, we are not here. The institution is not a human being, but it's driven by human beings.
Absolutely.
But if the institution specifically identify that the objective is sustainably to give,
And they give.
sustainably, you can still make money. You will feel happier. The institution is happy. Everybody has sustainability without unduly. Islam has done a lot of things. Go to the Baqarah, you see God said when someone is owing you
Mm.
and he has problem, he does that. Please don't pester him.
Mm. Mm.
In
Yeah.
fact, God encourage you that you should turn it to charity if you know what is better for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we are not a charity organization. We are an
Absolutely.
institution. But to be very honest with you, we are like minds, and what drives us is that sustainability.
I really wonder. It's really wonderful to see how you've been able to bring the life situation to what you do at the alternative bank. It's really wonderful, and I believe, the viewers are actually stunned about what you do, because talking about how you're able to metamorphose from being a window and becoming
It's
full
kind
fledged
of
now, and you've already made all your mistakes, like you mentioned,
many of our mistakes.
many of your mistakes.
Yeah.
So then, you have this kind of advantage, and this is the kind of thing people can learn from as well. And the case studies you've given, is good. I believe the researchers will actually have to come and study the way you've been able to do this, because it's very, very important. Thank you so much for this. And one other thing, just for the last, how I know that. When they sent you the letter to attend this conference and you opened it and you saw the theme, just transitioning, what came to your mind? Because I know you've mentioned a lot of just, just. But what, as at that moment, what came to your mind?
The topic was, or the theme was very captivating to me because I was beginning to tell you my background, my training background. I'm a trained mathematician, in school. My first degree, my second degree, going for the third in the same field of mathematics. You see, the in applied mathematics, that is what we call population differential equation or logistic differential equation. The formula for growth and decay are the same,
Hmm.
with just a little negative somewhere at the exponent level. What does that tell us? It tells you that if you are not growing, you are decaying. There is nothing in the middle. There is no midpoint there. It is either you are growing or you are decaying. What does this tell us? It tells us that we must continuously innovate and move. So you must transit from point A to point B. Otherwise, you will perish.
Hmm.
That was the captivating, the team captivates me. And I believe a lot of thought process had been put into place to get this.
Absolutely.
But what excited me more was the topic that was given to us to discuss, although the timing was very short. But I think that is the most important topic of conversation.
Hmm.
If we say our essence is to solve problems, as an individual, you can do so much, only so much. But if I partner with you, what do? We can solve more problems. I say two heads are better than one. We are good, we complement each other.
Hmm.
So partnership is key within the industry, the financial industry, the banks. As I said, the Islamic banks in Nigeria today are very tiny.
Yeah.
Really very tiny. Believe me. What's the capital of all the four banks is less than 100 billion.
Mm.
I know some banks in Nigeria that have capital of 1, 2 trillion. One bank, 1 trillion. What does that mean? It means that that bank has the muscle to deploy per transaction up to like how much? It's 20%. You have 1.1 billion. You can deploy like 200 and something billion per transaction. But if you are a small bank that have a capital of 10 billion, you can deploy 2 billion. If you are 20 billion, only 4 billion. What can you do? If we have 100 billion, it's 40 billion per transaction that we can do. The whole Islamic banks in Nigeria or non-interest banks. It's very tiny. It's very meager. In fact, you will be so scared if you convert that to dollar. You discover that you are nowhere. So the power of collaboration, the power of partnership, both within the industry, financial industry, and the non-finance, the Islamic non-interest, non-financial, like the capital market, like
Yeah.
the
Takaful.
takaful companies and all that. Collaboration is an existentialist thing. Otherwise, the degree of impact will be very, very minimal.
Very minimal.
Talk less of working in a silo. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can go to agric. If you have a rice mill today, that we have rice mills that have capacity, or oil mill that have capacity of 1,000 tons a day.
Yeah.
Of say soybeans. How much is a ton of soybeans? Is upward of 400K.
Absolutely.
Say 450, 480.
On average.
It means that that oil mill consume commodity worth 480 million on a daily basis.
That's huge.
So tell me, when you multiply that by 10, is how much? Is 4.8 billion. By 20 is 9.6 billion. By 25, you are talking of 10, 11, 12 billion consumption of month. But we say your single of legal limit is 22 billion. How will you be able to support that? Do you understand? From the time the short-term, medium plan is to build the capital big and all that. So what do? You collaborate and solve that problem. So that's why I say that partnership within the industry is key.
It's key.
Because of size, limited nature of capital. Partnership with the private sector outside the industry. Okay, you are an educationist, you are into media, I'm partnering with you because there is a specific amount of information or knowledge you have that I don't. So we complement each other. If you are an educationist, an expert in education, you can solve a problem. Like right now, we have a partnership with what we call Unify, that we can replicate your whole institution virtually. So you see, there is limit to the number of intake you have for students. It's directly correlated to the amount of infrastructure you have. But if you have a digital infrastructure, you see, you can have 4 sessions in India. If your physical infrastructure can accommodate 1,000 people, with a replication of virtual infrastructure, you can employ, you can admit 2,000.
I mean, if you say we should continue to talk about the benefits of all those things, I mean, it's so wonderful.
Can't continue.
It's so wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Malan Garba, for this wonderful interview. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. And thank you so much for gracing our occasion. Really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.